little recap on the last game. Really, disappointed. I thought we did some really good things. First drive was too long. We did get them stopped, held them to a field goal. We had 3 chances to get off the field. We didn't do a very good job of that. And that was part of our problems all day, getting off the field on third down. And a lot of those third down were, third and 3 or less, and still, it doesn't matter what the down distance is, you got to get off the field. We didn't do a very good job of that. I thought our kids or our young men played hard. I think they played physical. We didn't tackle as well as we needed to, and then in some situations we didn't cover as well as we needed to. And that's why the result was the way it was. We played a good football team. Played a very good offensive football team. We knew probably in terms of dual threat, guys that can throw it and run it. He's as good as anybody we played. Talking to the quarterback. So. And it doesn't get any easier this week. Different. It'll be a little bit different style. They're one of the top quarterbacks in the country. I think they're bringing back 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 starters. That offensive line's played together for several years. It'll be a challenge, but it's one that we're going to work hard and hopefully we're going to be more prepared for. With that said, I'll start taking questions.
Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you.
Coach, without having curl and pulley in this game, I imagine it's going to make it more difficult. What do you do in the secondary?
Well, we're going, and you have to prepare for these situations. We got 2 freshmen that'll be playing safety for us, and we hadn't made all the decisions at corner, but we'll have 4 corners and 4 safeties that we're going to go into the game with and try to keep them fresh. And we're going to get them ready to compete. That's the way it is. It's next man up. That's what they came here for. Be an Arkansas Razorback, get an opportunity to play. The opportunity's there, and we're going to see how ready we can get them. And I'm sure they'll be excited about playing on Friday afternoon.
You came down to the field for the second half. What do you anticipate for this coming week, and how it changed things maybe for you?
Well, I wanted to be around our kids because it's and like I said, even making that decision early in the year, there's a little bit of struggle about making that decision. I want to be around the kids. I hadn't been around them on the field during game time, and you get to know more about your kids when you see them in that situation, and you're able to sit down and talk with them on the sideline, and you know where they are, a little bit more about their demeanor, and I'm not going to say I learned a lot. There's a couple things I learned that I'm not going to, no need to talk about those, but I felt like I needed to be there with them and be in the battle with them, and that's why I came down.
Any thoughts about this week?
No, not yet. It's let's see what the weather's like. No, I'm just teasing.
It's going to be raining.
It's going to be raining. Well, I'll probably be. No. I enjoy being around. I enjoy being around our kids when they're competing. Obviously, I mentioned this earlier in the year before we played even the first game. It's easier to do your job in terms of calling the defenses, from the box. It's a calm, it's an environment that you can, really, think and do the things that you need to do. But I've done it both. I've done it both ways, and I just felt the need to be on the field. And hey, come Saturday, if I feel like I need to be on the field with the kids, that's where I'm going to be, right in the middle of the battle.
Crockett's a Little Rock kid. He's part of that 1-2 at running back. What do you think of those 2 guys, and maybe specifically on Crockett?
Well, he's been injured a little bit. I don't like the fact that he's been injured, but if he doesn't play, it wouldn't bother me. No, he's a good player. He's a really good player, and certainly you look at that, and in their offense, he fits them, and he's a powerful guy. He's got good size, and he runs hard. He runs physical. It's a complete offense. When you start breaking it down, there's no question about it. Where do you find a weakness? They got a tight end. We played good tight end. They got a tight end that's very, very efficient. Well, he's better than that. He's a good player, and obviously he's a go-to. They got a couple receivers that can stretch the field on you, and again, they got a quarterback that can deliver the ball. And again, you're looking at an offensive line, and I'm not talking about a team that's undefeated. They've had their ups and downs too, but they are a very, very, very talented offensive football team.
Chad doesn't seem any less angry today than Saturday. I mean, just how do you feel the players and coaches have responded to how his feelings about the Saturday's game?
I think we're all disappointed in Saturday's game, and certainly, I'm gonna always be on the same same accord with our head football coach. But you know, if you accept losing, then you're in the wrong place. You know, you're in the wrong sport. You know, it's just something that we can't accept. And anytime we don't get our best on the field, and at times, you know, at times we were good, but it wasn't our best, and that's the bottom line. And we didn't play well enough to win, even though we played a good football team. We didn't play well enough to win. So, you know, you just can't go on and say, okay, you know, we lost, let's go get ready for the next one. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. And I'll tell you, hell, I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep any Saturday night, you know. Hey, I slept a few hours Sunday morning, but you know, it bothers you when you don't get your best. And you know, that has to do with me, it has to do with preparation, it has to do with everybody around. And if you can go home and go to sleep, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And I'm not suggesting you have to, you know, you have to kill yourself or anything like that, but you don't feel good. You don't feel good. And I had a high school coach that taught me a long time ago, the only cure that gets that feeling back is winning. You know, that's why you go compete, because you want to win, and you prepare, and you do your best to win. And you know, this game isn't any fun when you don't win. And you know, I tell the kids that all the time, so they're not going to hear anything they hadn't heard. If you don't win, it ain't any fun. You know, we don't go just to compete. You know, we compete to win, and that's the approach you got to take, and that's the approach our head coach takes, and he expects that every day. And I agree 100% with him.
I know I asked you about Armand Watts last week, but physically, what is it that's allowed him to do what he's done this year? And I think he's among the top defensive tackles, sack guys in the country. Well,
I think, you know, a couple of things, you know. Number one, and this is the biggest key of all, he's balled in. He's all in. He's all in. He wants to do it the way you teach it. He wants to do it. And he doesn't have, hey, coach, what about this? That's not him. He's all in, and he has worked his rear end off to get to where he is. And all the credit goes to he and John Scott. You know, Coach Scott's done a good job coaching him, but he has been all in, he's been all ears, and then he's applying it in the game. And he's a smart young man. He understands football. You know, he could go teach everything that he's doing right now. He knows it that well, and I think that's a big part of it. And when you get, you know, obviously when you get your scheme in, and that's a big part of growing, you know, as a person with him personally, but then when you start growing as a football team, it's when they're able to teach each other. When they're able to teach each other, and that's what we got to be able to do. And we're a lot closer to that than we were 8 or 10 weeks ago. But that's, you know, that's how you establish a program. When they can teach each other, they understand the fundamentals, they understand the importance of the process. And listen, the process is not easy. It's not easy, and I'm going to talk to you like I talk to my guys. It's not easy, and sometimes it's not made for everybody. It's not made for everybody, and you know, it's those guys that are going to separate themselves, because really and truly, there's about that much difference between being good and being great. And the guys that search for that every day are the ones like Watts, that, in my opinion, has had a great year.
Well, what was your personal response to Pulley and Curl and what they did before that game, and what you say to them?
Well, you know, and I really don't like to talk about this. Coach has said enough, but very disappointed. And again, you know, as far as I'm concerned, that's enough said. You know, very disappointed. They understand that. I understand that. And listen, you know, it's about, you know, when you start looking at it, you know, it's about perception. You know, even though that was not acceptable, you know, but it's, you know, it's really perception. And here we are fighting to, you know, to develop the kind of culture where you're going to have a winning attitude by every guy that walks on that field. And again, I'm not questioning their character, but the perception was not very good, and it had to be addressed. And our head coaches handled that, and I'm with him 100%.
One more time. You good? Good. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, guys.